I want to welcome everyone to Careers from the Kitchen Table, the show that teaches you how to cook without the cooking, giving you some good old home recipes for your business success. We are coming to you live on Amazing Women of Power, World's leading positive programming network, reaching 4.5 million listeners in 157 countries. How cool is that? Also, we're coming to you live from Periscope streaming. You got to check them out. And for the new platform that everybody's talking about that allows me to bring these side-by-side interviews to you, I'm talking about Blab. And I have a special guest that I'm excited to bring to you about, because our topic is secrets to TEDx and how it could change your world as a speaker. First, we want to ask you to hit that little Twitter button and share us with a friend. Okay, share us with a friend. Get them over here. They're going to want to hear this information for sure. And follow me on @talkshowmaven. Now, let me tell you about my guest. Her name is Rosalind Kahn. Now, Rosalind is a TEDx speaker, author, and coach. She has spoken on TEDx stage and mentored others to deliver their best speech. Her book is titled Random Acts of Kindness Are Changing the World. She recently did a book signing in Italy and promises to take me on the next one. And she has worked with executives in hospitality, social media, entertainment, and universities in Southern California. She's going to share her insider secrets. She's going to tell you how she became a TEDx speaker and why you should too. So, woohoo! If you're standing, sit down. And if you're sitting, stand up, because the lady is here. Hey, woo! Yeah. So, welcome. So, you've got an interesting story on how you got started. Tell us about that.
Okay. So first of all, many of the speakers who are on the TEDx stage have never actually done speaking before. So here's my amazing tale. I was involved in Toastmasters, and the average person stays in Toastmasters for just 1 year. But for me, 1 year wasn't enough. I was involved in Toastmasters for 10 plus years. I was an area governor, a division governor, lieutenant governor of marketing and training. And then I said, I like speaking so much, I'm going to teach it. So as I began teaching in the colleges, after a short stint with the American Society of Training and Development, a friend sent me an email and said, you've got to come experience TED. And I had no idea. What is TED? I have no clue. As I sat in the audience, my eyes, my face, I became, wow, I want to be on that stage. And when I made that decision, you don't just jump on the stage and get there. I became a volunteer in the organization. I spent over 2 years. And one day, there was an opportunity to learn how to be a TED speaker. And I set my goal. The number one thing is I was going to be a TED speaker. And as I got in the room and there was 40 people gathered around, I said, hi, my name is Rosalind. I'm a teacher and I'd love to just learn. During that day, in the bathroom break, a lady came to me and said, I want to work with you. I want you to help my speakers to become better speakers. After a year of coaching a half a dozen people, it finally became my turn. I went out in the public and gave a talk at a storytelling group in Santa Monica. And after going ahead and contacting a person in TED, within just 8 days,
8 days,
8 days and making the decision it's my turn.
Hey, but wait a minute, let me stop you. That was it. You made the decision. And a lot of people, they don't make that decision, but not only did you make a decision, you made a committed decision. Because you went into action. There you go. Absolutely. So go ahead. I had to say that because people miss that. It's so important when you agree to make that decision and be committed to it.
So let me continue with the story. So within 8 days, I was offered the possibility to give a speech. Now, like I said, most people don't have a lot of experience in speaking. I'd had a decade of teaching public speaking and 10 years in Toastmasters, and yet I've never worked as hard as I did. I must have written over that speech, I want to say 13 different times.
Wow.
And then I went ahead and I must have given it to 14 to 15 different groups. And there was this one story. Oh my God, you got to hear the story.
Okay, tell me.
I'm sorry?
I said, tell me. I want to hear it, the story.
It's amazing. we were going back to when Obama was in his first inauguration as president, and I was driving down the Sepulveda Pass, going over the hill, and I remember it just as it was yesterday. I'd just driven past where there is the Whole Foods, and I got a call from the guy who was the director, and I was heading off on Wednesday or Friday, and it was Tuesday, and he says, Rosalind, the speech you're working on, you got it all wrong. You got to stop. And I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean? He's like, you can't continue. You're going down the wrong path. We need to talk. And I took my car and I turned myself around, and I was just about ready to go back home. And I said, I'm going to Santa Monica College, and I'm going to give my speech in front of the debate team. And he said, well, if you're going to go give it in front of the director of the debate team, let me know what they say. So I went to college, and I gave my speech, and I got some really valuable feedback. And when I came back, he said, go to your computer, download what I have. And a half an hour after receiving it, I was giving it at a center for handicapped people. And they loved it. And that is the beginning of the amazing story of write, review, and I went to the convention, the Democratic inauguration, and when I came back, I was practicing in front of the gentleman who had given me my opening for TED.
Wow.
And I was still nervous when I got up and gave that speech. I was practicing in the bathroom before.
I've been there. I know exactly what you mean. You know, I remember one time I wrote just key points on my hand like a little kid. You do what you got to do, Rosalind.
You certainly do what you got to do. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, just make it happen.
Whatever it takes, make it happen. And for all of you that are going to be listening to the replay, whether it's from Blab, Amazing Women of Power, or Periscope, there's some key things that Rosalind said. And you heard me when I stopped her when she said she made the decision. That's where it begins, guys. You got to make the decision. You have to make the decision. No one can make it for you. Right, Rosalind?
That's right.
And then the other thing is do whatever it takes. You got to go in and be full out and do whatever it takes. And you heard what she said at first, didn't get it right. You know, what did you say? You said you have to not prepare. You said 2 P's or something. What did you say you had to do? You had to prep or something and then re-prep?
I had to write it down.
Write it down.
And then when I wrote it down, it must have been written 13 different times, and I must have presented it in front of 20 groups. And when I got to the end, I was told it was all wrong. And I had to go back to the starting place.
Yeah. You can't just wing it, is basically what you're saying, right? It's okay to speak from the heart, the gut, and the soul, but you got to have an outline. You got to have something, or you're all over the place. It's kind of like driving and you don't know where the hell you're going. So you start here, you go there, you go here, you go there. Okay, good. Absolutely. I love that. So what kind of doors does working for TEDx open? I mean, how does it change your world, since we're talking about and giving secrets to that?
That is amazing. One of the key points that we left behind is one of the special skills that I brought to the TED world is I had so much experience in public speaking that I coached a number of TED speakers. And I think that's important to know, because it's one thing to be up there on the stage, but it's another to have the skill set to help others get to where they're going. And so one of the keys is everybody typically has this really long message, and we have to take that long message and we need to narrow it straight and focus. And so I've worked with half a dozen people to getting their speeches to being trimmed, and focused. Working with them on the delivery and the facial expression and the body languages to bring them into that TED arena. I've also been able to be a person who's on the lookout. Who is that next TED speaker out there? Do you have the skills? Do you have the talents? And so I've been able
to take
my skills as not only a TED speaker, not only a coach, but help guide other people who want to be on that TED stage. And,
absolutely.
You know, it's amazing. You mentioned the TED world and the door opens up to you. I can't tell you how many people find out I'm a TED speaker in the college arena, and they say, boy, we'd love to have you come to our campus. part of my actually going to Italy was having been that TED speaker. I'm talking to speakers organizations about promoting me on the bigger and the wider world, and they're like, there's not a TED speaker. I actually have an opportunity to be in my second number 2 TED Talk. That's up and counting. So once the door goes ahead and opens, I'm meeting today with another distinguished speaker who's down in Orange County. His name is Dan Fowler, who has a great vision.
Dan Fowler, okay, yeah, I'm familiar with
that he wants to be on the TED stage. I was working with Elijah, the guy who's the storyteller, take your story and turn it into a movement. And I was connecting him to the person who had led the TED event I was in, Greg Apodeka. And it just opens up so many different doors and opportunities that you wouldn't even know. Even when I begin my classroom teaching and I stand up and say, how many of you in this audience have ever watched TED? Yeah, I have. And I say, well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't just teach public speaking. I have been on the TED stage. I wish you could listen to that round of applause that's out there. That's just like, oh my God, this is my teacher.
Well, one thing I love about you is you can definitely feel your passion. And I speak to my radio hosts and to my clients all the time about how important it is for the audience to feel your passion, but also to feel your words. Because people they move into that inspired action once they can feel you. You know, it's great to hear you. It's great to see you on Blab and all these great places. But it's nothing like feeling the words and feeling the emotions and feeling the passions of the speaker. What do you got to say about that, Rosalind girlfriend? Rosalind girlfriend.
Well, you know, it's true. It's not just the words.
Mm-hmm.
The words are tiny. It's like 7% of the whole formula. It's 96% of the facial expressions, the body gestures, and how you emphasize the different words that actually brings them to life and makes people respond and react. I mean, it's just unbelievable. You got to have the whole complete package. And that's why there's so much practice, there's so much preparation, there's so much taking it to the next and the higher and the higher and the higher level to bring it all together.
And that's what it is, bringing it all together. One of the things you spoke about was it being narrow and focused. Tell us more about that. And even, well, let's just dive a little bit deeper instead of just telling us about it because you already did. Why don't you share a couple techniques that our listeners or viewers, whether they're from Amazing Women of Power, whether they're from Blab, or whether they're from Periscope, can take away today to maybe they're not ready for TEDx, maybe they're trying to even be more narrow and focused here on one of these platforms. So can you kind of give maybe 3 tips on staying narrow and focused?
Okay, first of all, when you're talking about being narrow and focused, one of the things you want to focus on, what's your major goal? Mm-hmm. What is the goal you want to accomplish? So, for example, if you're given a speech about health, what is the most important thing you want to talk about health? We could talk about diet, we could talk about exercise, we could talk about meditation. And so you want to focus on what's the number one primary principle. And the number one primary principle is yourself. If you want to be focused on improving your health, then you need to improve your overall self. And what does that involve? When I talk about improving myself, I can then talk about the 3 categories. To improve myself, I have to improve my diet, I have to improve my exercise, and I need to shift the mental part of my mind.
Yes.
So that when we're giving a speech, it's not I'm going to talk about diet, exercise, and that, because that's all over the place. Mm-hmm. We have a specific narrow focus, and too many times we have these extreme details that gets messed up. So the number one thing is, what do you want to talk about? What's that idea? What are the stories that you want to share? Those are the supports. And so once you have the idea, you come up with the support, write it down, and then go to sleep.
Write it down and then go to sleep. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But don't you go to sleep. We got enough more.
When we sleep on it, our mind goes ahead and processes this information, and it completely changes it into something new that we can see in a new way. So once we sleep on it, we can come back with new eyes and say, that doesn't match with that. That doesn't match with that. That doesn't match with that. So let's go ahead and review. Let's go back. Number one, you start off with a specific purpose. You figure out what the details are. You go to sleep so you can come back and you can see what's in order. The number three, share it with a friend. If you can go ahead and share it with a friend, they can see what you can't see, and it's going to give you feedback of what works and what do you need to change. And it doesn't happen in one night. It's something that happens over time. Time is your best friend. It's not your enemy. What do you say? You like those 3 tips?
I love it. Especially time is your best friend and not your enemy. I think that's a good one because a lot of people feel like they're racing with the clock trying to catch up with time. But what I found is a lot of times we're wasting time. We all have the same amount of time in the day. It's just what we do with it. And preparing and doing the prep, like you talked about early on, making sure you have at least an outline, if not a complete script. I'm not a scripted person, but I do know how important it is to have an outline. That is going to save you time when you prep and get prepared. I mean, just look at the time we wasted because we weren't prepared this morning, but and that's an important part of it, so time is your friend and not your enemy. You very rarely hear people speak about that, but that's one of those things Roz and I call a little thing, but a big thing, absolutely. And I was just typing in here, let's see, because I want to let the listeners know that following you is Jack Canfield today.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So he's going to talk about his success principles, which are some of the things that you talked about. I want to invite everybody to go to amazingwomenofpower.com, amazingwomenofpower.com following this interview. And we're going to have Jack Canfield talk about his success principles. And I want to make sure that you guys tune in to that. And I'm writing fast, so if I didn't spell it correctly, that's what it's meant to say. And for all of you on Periscope, hello. This is Raven, a talk show maven, and we are on Blab. We're on Amazing Women of Power. I hate to give you the big face. I'm going to step back here. And we're talking to Rosalind Kahn, who's a speaker, author, and now a TEDx trainer and a TEDx speaker, and she's sharing how you can be successful. We want to welcome our blabbers. So I'm going to put this on here. And by the way, people on Periscope, we love hearts. So give us some hearts and follow me on @talkshowmaven. And for all you blabbers, thumbs up. Give us some thumbs up if you're loving this content that Rosalind and I are giving. I want to say hello to, let me see. Okay, these things, I got to get some better glasses. Look at this. Is it Yancey T. Wilson? I want to say hello to Lacey and James Garland and all the people that have joined us on Blab. If I didn't say your name, I'm sorry. Let's see, Ava Lore. Ava Lore used to be with Amazing Women of Power. Hey, sweetie, I miss you. And Russell Collins and Stephen, and all the people that stopped by and had to leave and come back and listen to the replay. We want to thank you. So we applaud you for being here. TEDx, everybody's talking about that. I know my son has said, Mom, you need to be on TEDx. And so when Rosalind told me about her topic, I said, I got to have her on the show. Just got to have her on the show. And so, stay tuned. You're going to hear more from Rosalind in a minute. But I just want to remind you that what you're listening to, this is the Careers from the Kitchen Table show, an award-winning home business show that's been on since 2008. We've had people on like Will Simmons, Jack Canfield, Lisa Jr., Lisa Sasvich, Nichols. They've all been on my show. And so now we're bringing it to TV. How cool is that? And live stream. How cool is that? And it's airing on my radio station, AmazingWomenOfPower.com. Check us out. AWAPTalk247.com or AmazingWomenOfPower.com. Jack Canfield. I had to interview him a few months ago on his success principles. And he will be coming on right after Rosalind. And we can't wait to share that with you. You're gonna get some gold nuggets here. You're gonna get more golden nuggets there. Who am I? I'm Raven, a talk show maven, known by many as the queen of internet radio and interview conversion. I teach people how to use the power of their voice, the skills of a talk show host, and their heartfelt message, and take it to the masses and turn it into multiple streams of income. Can we say ka-ching, 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 ching, ching? So my guest today is Rosalind Khan. She's a TEDx speaker. She's a TEDx trainer. She's an author. And glad we're here, and she shared her story with us. Now, all of a sudden, I hear an echo. Did you do something different? And I want to make sure my phone is cut off, too. If you're enjoying what she says, give me and her some thumbs up on Periscope. Give us some hearts, please. Share us. Thank you, Lacey. You've been so awesome in sharing this and bringing people in. And for all of you that are listening right now, please share us with the win. Hey, Ava Lord, just hit the Twitter button and say, hey, come on over and hear what Raven and Rosalind are saying about TEDx. Right. Now, we have a question from Yancy. She says, what are some tips you have to become a speaker for the first time in TEDx? She shared some of those before you came in, but you want to give maybe one more sizzling hot tip, and then she can also listen to the replay.
One of the important things to become a TEDx speaker is you gotta know what a TEDx talk is. You gotta know what a TEDx
You're kind of fading in and out a little bit. I don't know why. You're kind of fading in and out a little bit. Your words are breaking up. So
I said one of the keys is to be familiar with the TED format. So I would go to the TED website and watch the speeches. Follow out with what the theme lines are. I know there's a really amazing book out that talks about how to be a TED speaker and what the themes and the key ideas are. You might pick up that book on Amazon by simply going ahead and doing a Google search. And along those lines is you want to remember what is there that new that you have to say. What is there that you know that hasn't already been talked about? What do you think?
I think that's great. One of the things I want to ask you is, as far as advice for the presentation, because I know it all starts there, even getting in front of those people so that they can know that you're ready for them. What are some more tips? Maybe you can give us your top two tips, because we got some other questions for you that you can pass on as far as their presentation. And does it have to be a certain style, certain format? Is there some things that need to be in it to make it successful? Can you kind of share your thoughts on that?
Okay, well, the top two things on your presentation is when you want to speaker, the number one thing that you should see is they make it like the first time. When we're talking about speaking, and I'm working with my clients and my executives, you want to make it seem like it's the very first time. The information is fresh, that you're responding, that you're reacting to how the audience feels, to their reactions. And to make it seem like the words are just flowing from your mouth.
Flowing. Okay, how can you make sure the words flow from your mouth?
You can't, there's such a thing as over-preparing. And when you over-prepare, it's like I'm staring at that point on the wall over there. And every one of my words is coming there because I've got it memorized. Did the words flow there? No, because it's all up here.
Yeah.
And so in order to make the words flow, you want to go ahead and you want to start with, okay, here's my basic idea, write it down. And I write it down and I go to sleep and I come back and I extract what are the most important things. And then I practice it and I practice it and I practice it. You got to practice it from the beginning to the end.
Absolutely.
To the end. And then I go back.
You extract it. I love that you said you extract the best parts. So don't try to get it all in. It's kind of like in radio when we teach using sound bites. It's kind of like the same thing. You want to pull out the best parts, the part that's going to stick in their brain, right?
Right. You want to pick out the best parts. You want to pick out the best parts, and then you want to go ahead and you want to restructure that outline. You want to restructure that outline. And when you're practicing, you can't practice in front of a mirror. You can't practice in front of the dog. The dog loves me. Human emotion.
Yeah.
You got to be a human. It's going to give you that response. It's going to give you that feedback. It's going to say, Whoa, man, I love that. And you
Absolutely.
can't get that by doing it in your head. You can't get that and doing it in your head. So it's got to be the practice in front of people. What do you say?
I actually think that practicing in front of people is important. I know when I first started speaking, what I did is I had a group of my friends come over to the house, and I just invited them. Whatever my topic was, that was the topic. And I said, come on, don't bring your kids, leave the kids at home because I didn't want crying babies. And I kind of did like a Mary Kay party or a network marketing party, but it was my speaking introduction so people can see me. And I came out, I did my thing. I didn't serve food or any of that. And then I passed out little critique sheets. And I just, I really wanted to hear what they had to say so I can know what to work on. And it did help me. By the time I spoke, did my first speech with the Napoleon Hill Foundation, I was ready. I got a standing ovation. And that's because I took what they said on that, critique sheet, and I, put into action and started doing every little thing they said. Now, here's the bad part and the hard part is some people don't want to take constructive criticism, but you have to take it. You got to know you're not going to knock it out the park, your first time, whether you're starting a radio show, starting a blab, speaking for TEDx or Scope, you got to make mistakes. It's called failing forward, and you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And that's the same thing with TEDx. Even if they say, you're not a fit for us right now, doesn't mean forever, And what I like to do and what I've learned, everyone, is ask them, why not now? I want to hear what they say. I want to hear them say, well, and I'm telling them, hey, if you don't mind, if you're open to it, do you mind sharing what led you to say no today? That's a hard thing. That takes a lot of guts to ask somebody that. But listen to me, everyone. If you ask them that, you will know what you're missing. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, you got that. Yeah. Every time I go out and do a speech, I hand out evaluation cards and I ask the same question. What did you like? What didn't you like? What can we do better? And it's the feedback that we get. Every great speaker has an audience. I use Toastmasters. My friend in Israel brought all her friends around. Another TED speaker brought her family around where she just said, here, I want some feedback, I want some advice, this is how we take it to the next level, and this is what we do. And it works extremely well because you can't critique yourself, you got to have that information coming at you, this is how we take it to the next level.
Right, we got a great question from, I think it's Ilmo86. That says, how do you apply feedback without changing who you are? Great question. Great question.
Thank you. Thank you again so much. That is exactly true. Remember that criticism, it's not a fight. It's a present. It's a gift. And if we don't take it personally and realize it's to help us to get to the next level, this is how we change. This is how we change. It's not attacking me. This is the ideas, and I know the goal is to get these ideas to come out better. And so that I find when I'm working with my clients, just like all of you, I would tell you, we're going to help you take you here to the next level. If we keep doing what we're always doing, we're just going to get what we've always gotten. And
ooh, that's a big one. Yeah.
To elevate yourself to the next level, to go one step higher.
I love that. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. And I think all of us can resonate with that, because how many years have we kept doing what we're doing? Hey, guys, if you're just joining us, this is Raven, the Talk Show Maven, known by many as the Queen of Internet Radio and Interview Conversion. And you're tuned in to the award-winning Careers from the Kitchen Table show, airing live on Amazing Women of Power, AmazingWomenOfPower.com, world's leading positive programming network. And 24/7, you can listen to positive programming all day long. Also, we're airing on a new platform called Blab, BLAB.im. Blab.im allows us to bring TV and Periscope. allows us to bring live streaming. So all these cool platforms, and I'm so great because I have awesome guests all the time, just like the Rosalind Kahn here. And now I can share them all over the world. If you enjoy what we're saying, hey, share us on Twitter. We're going to open it up so you guys can jump in and ask Rosalind your question in a few minutes on Blab, I Am, and on Periscope. Hey, Periscopers. And you can also make sure that you send your question, and we won't ignore you too, but we're keeping you face to the camera, so that to the computer rather. And we got some questions coming up, so I'm going to go ahead and get back in. But for more exclusive interviews like this, be sure to go to amazingwomenofpower.com. And also don't forget to join us after this. We're going to be doing an interview with Jack Canfield. We're going to re-air on his success principles. And I put in the link there so you can go to Amazing Women of Power. So welcome back, Ronson. We have another question. Let's see, how do you deal with people who are forceful about their feedback and they want you to do it their way? This is again from, is it, I want to say Lilmo 86. I may agree with some of what you are saying, but not all of it. Okay. So she wants to know, how do you deal with people who say, okay, they give you the forceful feedback? I love that. Okay.
Okay. So the first thing I would say is information. Number one, thank you so much for your feedback. I wouldn't be where I was at if I didn't get feedback from a variety of different countries and so on and so forth. But the question that you need to keep to yourself is, does this apply to me or does it not apply to me? And I would go compliment them on the information they've given. And, you know, all this information is great and wonderful. I thank you for the beautiful advice you've given me. And I get so much from all the different people. And I need to take it home and I need to go ahead and consider what's best and what's right. With all of you here today, I can't take and implement all the changes, but thank you for going ahead and sharing. And I'll take that into consideration. When I go home, I'm going to look at all this feedback and figure what's right for my next person. Right. Thank you so much for sharing. And let's go ahead and hear from a few others and see what they might have to say.
Absolutely. And here's the thing is, take what resonates with you and feels authentic to you, and leave the rest alone.
That's right.
You know, you have to feel free to be you.
Right.
If a platform doesn't allow you to be authentic and you know, you're not free to be me, free to be you, free to be us, that's the wrong platform for you. Hey, that's why most of us left corporate and stuff. We're tired of being tied into a box, having to walk a straight and narrow and stuff. This is what I love about the new way of speaking. And Roslyn, don't you see there's more people speaking from the heart, speaking from their gut, speaking from their soul, instead of worrying about, oh, I got to go 2 steps to the right. I got to put my hand here. I got to do, you know, all that stuff. That still has its place, but it's so much, I resonate with those speakers that I can feel, like I said, I can feel their words, feel their emotion, and focus on if they have the right stance and all this. They're focusing on just delivering their heartfelt message. What do you guys say about that, Rosalind?
Yeah, it all comes from the heart. It's what we say from our heart that resonates with all of you. When I'm sitting here and I'm talking to all of you, am I being who I am or am I being someone else? And the audience can tell, are you the true person who's up there, or are you thinking about something else that's out there? You can help people when you're yourself. When you're just that person that you really are. That's what resonates. That's what brings people together, is just who you are, where you are. And the rest just naturally falls in its place.
Absolutely. We got another question, I think, from is it at C Stretch? Yes, at C Stretch, I think it is. Yeah. Do you send out your speaker sheet out to people to get booked to speak? Yeah. Can you talk about if you do, and if so, any tips on what they would recommend, especially if they're trying to get on TEDx and platforms as far as a speaker sheet?
Right.
Good
Well, one of
question.
the
Thank
important
you.
things is you need to have a sheet. You need to have a one sheet, plenty of one sheet that you can get out there on the net and with your friends out there. What is your specialty? What are the unique things that you have to offer, and what makes you different? And everybody wants to know, not a laundry list of the 10 different things. If I were to tell you about myself, I'd say the number one thing is I wrote a book on random acts of kindness. And if we can change that world and make it a better place, what a great place it could be. Number two, I talk about stress. Who in this world doesn't have stress in their life? How do we take that and how do we overcome that? The number three thing I talk about is how do we structure and how do we put together a speech? You've heard me talk about in my talk together. I'm number one at that. But people want it simple. They don't want to. I talk about diversity. I talk about difficult people. Yeah, I talk about all those. But these are the number three. And when you put the information in there, people can go ahead and say, yeah, that'll work with this one. That'll work with that one. But really, the key is the follow up. The follow up is really where the action is. And if you don't follow up, it's worth nothing at all.
Fortune's in the follow-up. Fortune in the follow-up. Yeah. C-Stretch says, love that authenticity. Yeah, girl, for sure. She also wanted to know, are you using an agency, Rosalind?
Well, I'm looking at a number of different agencies as we're speaking right now. I just got a call from one that I'm looking at. And it's all a matter of dollars and cents. I also work as a college professor, and most speakers, let me tell your audience this. There's very few people who are out there who just do speaking as their entire profession. So you got to have that second job, and you got to figure what's best and what's right for your budget, because there's a lot of ways that you can basically put money here, put money there, put money there. You got to figure out what's best and what's right for you. What's best and right for you. So I'm looking at those alternatives as we speak right now.
Yeah, it needs to be a perfect fit for you, for sure. What advice can you give women in the workplace to communicate more effectively? We had a listener that wanted to know that.
Well, terrific. One of the things that women have that we talk about is they're scared to share what they think. And if you don't go up and say what you think, how are you going to go ahead and get ahead? If it bothers you that someone doesn't close the refrigerator, that the food is rotting, or someone's stealing your food, then you're the only person who's going to go ahead and suffer from that. But you've got to say, hey, HR, we've got a problem with our refrigerator here. There's food that's going ahead and disappearing. Unless we put that in its place, then food is going to continue. And you have to take care of what needs to be done. So number one is speaking up your mind. The number two is this. The only person who's in charge of your life is you. And if you don't keep your own record of your accomplishments and your achievements and the things that you've gone ahead and done better, no one is going to be your spokesperson for you. So you got to stand up for yourself, and you got to keep records for yourself of what you've done to go ahead and get ahead, and constantly be updating the people that you work with, because this is what's going to take you to the next level. I remember several years ago I was in graduate school, and they were talking about the change of the workplace. And when they were talking about the change of the workplace, they were talking about there's no longer going to be one job. There's going to be people who do different jobs. And if we look at where we're at today, there's less and less people going into the one job workplace, but there's more people who do a bunch of things for a bunch of different people. So having your eyes open, I'm always looking at new opportunities and new stuff of what we can do to go ahead and take it to the next level. You've got to be your own person. You've got to be in charge of marketing and promoting yourself and how you're going to get to the next level.
Hey, listen, TV, let's see, Steve Harris says that there's too much echo. Are you on a speaker by any chance, Rosalind, on your end?
No, I'm just speaking on my phone, on my not on my phone, on my computer.
On your computer, okay. So we're doing the best we can. Thanks for letting us know, TV Steve Harris. Hey. Oh, Steve Harris, okay. So we have to work on that the next time. You know what, Steve, and for all of you listening, Rosalind and I were just going to do this on via the phone and air it on my Amazing Women of Power radio station. But I've just got on Blab just a few days now, maybe about 3-4 days. And I thought, hey, I got all these interviews coming up with some of the Periscope founders. I hope to be interviewing some of the Blab people. And I have Sandra Yancey from eWomen and Bob Berg. I have all these line of great people coming up in the next couple of weeks. So Rosalind's my guinea pig. Thank you, Rosalind. I said, Rosalind, you want to try this new platform for me? So, and we basically just got this going now. You know, he said you need headphones and a mic.
Great. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, C Stretch. Appreciate you too, and thank you for following me. And he says it's good stuff, though. He just wanted to let us know. So thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. If you're just tuning in, this is award-winning home business show, Careers from the Kitchen Table. We teach you how to cook without the cooking. Today, we're talking about how you can, we're sharing insider secrets on TEDx and how it could change your world as a speaker. Rosalind Kahn, she's a speaker. She's a TEDx trainer. She's an author. She's going to tell us about her book, went completely blank. Let me see. What's the name of the book? I want to say Act of Kindness, but right? Isn't that the name of it?
Random Acts of Kindness.
Random Acts of Kindness. I went completely blank. That's called a senior fart. Senior brain fart. Not a senior fart, a senior brain fart. Yeah, when you get to be my age, you just go completely blank. You're like, where was I? Sometimes I go in a room and I'm like, why did I come in this room? You know, it's kind of things to go with it, but I'm so blessed to be alive. And we're airing this on Amazing Women of Power. We're airing this on Periscope. We still only have Periscope people. We have one. So hello to our one. And we're airing this on Blab. So Rosalind, I want to open it up just in case someone wants to jump into the seats. But can you share with us a little bit about your book, Random Acts of Kindness, and what is it about? Obviously, we know, but elaborate in it. And what led you to write this?
Certainly. The book on Random Acts of Kindness is based on Tony Hsieh, the guy who Zappos, wrote a book about going out in the community and just doing nice things for one another. And as college students today, they have so many things on their list of things to do, 35, 40 hours. And if they went out and did a simple random acts of kindness, it's amazing how it could change the world. And so I had students who would help seniors cross the street, carry their groceries, buy flowers on the side of the freeway, and do all these different things. And when this collection of stories came together, there were 4 amazing things that happened. Once this person told a story, people who were tuned in their phones put them down. People who were afraid of talking, the words just came out of their mouth. Number 3, if you were to take a thermometer and measure, it was calmness, it was serenity that filled that world. And 4, the stories changed the world. And so every person who went ahead and saw those stories and heard those stories was, wow, these are amazing. And I've given over 40 or 50 speeches that have talked about how they changed the world in terms of kindness, of becoming a better business person, of improving diversity, how to make the best in your business and what you're going ahead and doing. It's amazing the things that we can do with this random acts of kindness. There's even research that goes ahead and shows that companies that are nicer to their employers and doing these random acts see improvement. And beautiful stories.
Well, here's the thing about that. I think I mentioned to you there's a guy by the name, and let me just send this text. I'm doing an interview, call you back, because someone was trying to get in contact with me that I'm also supposed to be interviewing, so I'm letting her know I still, so I apologize for that. But anyway, there's this guy by the name of Tiamo, and he wrote I think there's an organization called Random Acts of Kindness. You might want to look into it. You definitely want to check him out, Tiamo, because he has a song called Change the World. Let me see, what is it? I think it's called Be the Change. The Change.
Right.
Have you heard that? Yeah, by Tiamo. It's a beautiful song. And
yes.
Yeah, and you might want to talk to him. And when you start your platform here, you might want to interview him about it. I've interviewed him. He's a great person. But yeah, it's all about random acts of kindness. And it doesn't matter when I see people in a wheelchair and I see they're struggling and their groceries is falling out, I don't just start pushing their chair. I ask them, would you like some assistance? I'd be more than glad to help you, either put the groceries back in your lap or wheel you over to your car or whatever. That's a random act of kindness. And, just anything that you want to do. Sometimes just picking up the phone and calling someone that doesn't have a huge circle of friends, or maybe they lost their wife or their husband or their partner, and everybody surrounded them during the time of that loss, but then eventually people went away. And that's when people get really lonely. So random acts of kindness is just doing anything. And it's so easy, it's so effortless.
It's the smallest little thing that we can do. We never know the huge impact that it'll go ahead and make. It's definitely amazing, good stuff.
Absolutely. So, but where can they get that book at? Share that with them real quick and find out more about you. And then we got a couple more questions. Then I want to open up the seats and see if we have anyone that wants to come in and say hello and ask you a question or talk to you directly.
Okay. Well, my book is available on two places. First off, I'd like to go ahead and mention to our listeners out there that if you go to my webpage, RosalindKahn.com, they can go ahead and download a copy of the first chapter absolutely free.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
And if you want to simply go ahead and text the word speech to 71441, they can get that copy of the free download. And I will also go ahead and send them a copy of a CD that I have. So anybody who's listening right now, you want to go ahead and text 71441, I will give them a copy of the CD and download to the free book. And that way we can continue to be connected with one another. It's really great. It's available on Amazon. You can basically go to Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble have a copy of this book, and it's available on the website. It's a great gift. Everyone who gets it absolutely loves it. Absolutely loves it.
So go check it out. Check her out. Talk to her if you want to get on TEDx and you need some more pointers. If anyone wants to jump in and speak directly with Rosalind, go ahead. Feel free. I think I unlocked the seat. Yeah, I think I did. If you find it is locked, just let me know. So let's go back to presentation, because I know that's a huge part of it. Is there anything that you missed that you want to share with the listeners on improving their presentation skills so they can get ready to move forward with TEDx?
One of the things about presentation, we went ahead and we talked about structure, but really delivery is what gestures can you make? I remember there was a guy by the name of Clinton Swain, and we were working together in San Diego. He owns a company called Frontier Training. And he and I must have spent 45 minutes on coming up with the ideas of, there's one idea and how we get the world to go ahead and change and things like that. They're carefully choreographed to match and to mirror what's being said. So what are the gestures that you can use to go ahead and take your speaking to the next level? And if you're not a trained speaker, you don't have any idea of what those are. And that's where it comes to getting someone like myself to go ahead and help them out by visiting me at my webpage or texting me a message at 7441 saying, I'd like to have your help and your guidance to take my speech to the next level. It's those gestures that you use. What's the emphasis on the word that you put? Because it's not only in what you say, it's how you go ahead.
It's how you say it. Absolutely.
How do you go ahead and say it? What's the emphasis that we can put down on those? And those are some really excellent tips.
I love it. I love it. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Wow, this has been amazing. I know what I wanted to ask you. What types of topics are good for TEDx? What business topics or topics overall?
Well, one of the things that a person can do is they can go to the TED.com website. And on the TED.com website, there's a list of all the different upcoming events. And every event has a different theme. For example, on the one that I was at, Language Comes to Life, it had to do with education, it had to do with the media. Everything has a different theme, and you can go on the TED website and find out what the different themes are and where your ideas would fall into place. There's a whole theme of education, there's a theme of technology, there's a theme of media, and finding where your ideas fit with those topics that are out there. And it's going and seeing what's there and finding out what new information you have to share and how you can make that better.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Hey, if you're just joining us, this is Careers from the Kitchen Table. We are airing this on amazingwomenofpower.com. I'm going to send some more tweets out here so that we can get some more people in the room and hopefully ask some questions. Okay. I'm Raven, the talk show maven, trying to do 3 or 4 things at one time. Rosalind, I'm usually a lot smoother. But this is really interesting, trying to do this 4 different ways and 3 different ways, and watching this and watching that, and then, all the other stuff that goes on. It's kind of like driving what do you call it, stick shift? You're doing here and here, airing on Amazing Women of Power, airing on Blab, airing on Periscope. Pretty soon we'll be airing on Maricat. But this is how you get things syndicated. So it's really cool, but it takes some work, girl.
It certainly does.
It takes some work, but you are rocking it. People are loving it. The questions were good. You definitely delivered. And we want to applaud you for coming on the Careers from the Kitchen Table show and showing us how to cook without the cooking. Oh, yeah, you sure did. You rocked it. Uh-oh, I lost her. So you can come on back in. Just come on back, Rosalind. Somehow your computer probably went down. I'll wait here for you so you can come on back because we want to talk more to you and wrap things up. Everyone, this is Raven, the talk show maven. I am known as the queen of internet radio and interview conversion. And this is Careers from the Kitchen Table show that airs on Amazing Women of Power, world's leading positive programming network, powered by Raven International. That's me. We're also airing on blab.im, which is Blab TV. We're also airing on Periscope, which is live streaming. And I'm excited about this because I'll be able to bring lots and lots of interviews like the one I did with Rosalind Kahn here, who is the TEDx trainer, TEDx speaker, author of Random Acts of Kindness, and just a all around all cool girl. She's been sharing today secrets to TEDx and how it could change your world as a speaker. And I just want to thank everyone that has joined us, and say hello to everyone that'll be watching the replay of this via Periscope or via Amazing Women of Power or via this amazing platform, Blab TV. Following this interview, if you go to amazingwomenofpower.com, you can hear my interview of Jack Canfield as he talked about success principles. So that's going to come on in about 5 to 10 minutes. If you missed it, you can go to @talkshowmaven and you can say, hey, Raven, I want to hear that interview with Jack Canfield, and I will send it to you. I'll send you the link. It'll be totally free. In fact, I'll send you the transcribe. So just go to @talkshowmaven, hit me direct on the email, send me a direct message rather, or go to amazingwomenofpower.com and I'll make sure I send you the link to Jack Canfield's interview as well as a transcript. So how cool is that? Rosalind's back. Yay! We lost her for a moment, but she is back. Rosalind, we want to wrap up with your 5 best tips. And it doesn't matter if it's presentation. It doesn't matter if it's presenting yourself or finding how you get on TEDx, but your 5 best tips. So I'm still doing a commercial. I want you to think about what your 5 best tips is. You want to close out giving everyone, and it'd be nice if we can get maybe 1 tip in each area. And why Rosalind is preparing for that, because I know I caught her off guard, but I want to leave you with some action steps. I mean, Careers from the Kitchen Table got to be an award-winning home business show because we're not just about just giving you information. We're about you implementing the information, and we bring on the best of the best. I mean, we've had Russell Simmons, we've had Jack Canfield, we've had some amazing ladies like Allie Brown, Lisa Sasevich, Lisa Nichols, Dr. Jeanette Cates. We've had Cookie Johnson, who is Magic Johnson's wife, on. And if you are a top expert, world-renowned expert, or a celebrity in your niche, contact me at talkshowmaven on Twitter, at talkshowmaven. We love to talk to you about being on our show. If you're an ordinary person like me and Rosalind here, with extraordinary gifts and talents and an amazing story, contact me at talkshowmaven and I'll tell you how we can get you on. So we love to bring people with amazing stories. Our guest today is Rosalind Kahn. And for more exclusive interviews like this that you're hearing from Rosalind, you can keep tuning in to here on Blab, on Periscope, but also be sure to check out our radio station, Amazing Women of Power, world's leading positive programming network. We call it AWOP Talk 247, AWOPTalk247.com. I'll bring that in nice and close. AWOPTalk247.com or AmazingWomenOfPower.com. We are 24/7 positive programming network. Check out our schedule. Sundays, spiritual family, children programming. Monday and Tuesdays, uplifting encouragement. You can do it. Don't wait to be great. Those type of shows. Get unstuck. Get past abuse. Wednesdays, health, metaphysical law of attraction. Thursdays is all about the ka-ching. We're all about business shows, social media, the type of shows that you find here on these two platforms. And then Friday, we introduce and present our Amazing Men of Power. Saturday, we mix it up. And I'm straightening up my hat. That's how you know me when you see me out. People say, Raven, I knew that was you from your hats. I love hats. And so that's one of the things I love. And I love doing interviews. And that's why I have Rosalind Kahn here. So Rosalind, to wrap everything up, and we're going to close it out because I have another interview. Hate to let you go, but I have another interview. Share 5 tips that can help our listeners move forward toward becoming a TEDx speaker faster rather than slower. Any 5 tips you want to lay out. And listen closely. Here's the tips, guys.
The number one thing is what's your method? How is your method different from what everyone else said? The number two thing is write a review. Your first draft is never your best draft. There's always a series. The sooner that you recognize the process and the procedure that you go through, the better off you can be. The third thing is you need to get feedback from someone else. You want to get that feedback from someone else so you can look at it and take it to the next level. So it's the feedback that's where you are to go on to the next place that you're going to. Getting that insight. This is how I'm going to improve. The next thing is point on, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's the how. The final thing is this. It is, we never know whose life we can change by the message that we go ahead and say. So go ahead and share your message with the world, and you'll never know who will go ahead and open up to you. Thank you so much. My name is Rosalind Kahn. My business is called Coaching and Professional Speaking. How to master that message with passion and purpose. I am your guide to taking it to the next highest level. You can reach me at 818-583-7328, and I'd be more than happy to work with you on helping you take speaking to the next level. Raven, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so very much for allowing me to be on your show. It's been an honor and a pleasure to work with the front of technology, but to touch and reach so many people out there. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for coming in. We got time for a couple questions. If anyone is on Blab would love to hop into the seat. I think I've unlocked the seat. We're going to take out a moment for a quick commercial, and then we'll be right back as we close it out.
I'm Jack Canfield, and I've appeared on more than 1,000 radio interview shows in the past 25 years. And my time with Raven Blair Glover on her show, Don't Wait to Be Great, was one of the most enjoyable ever. She is a rare combination of dynamic, spontaneous, and fun, as well as thoroughly prepared, deeply insightful, and a great listener who responds with great follow-up questions, as well as her own experiences in a way that moves the conversation forward without stealing the focus. I would highly recommend being on her show to anyone who's serious about getting your message out to more people and enjoying the process at the same time. And she has become so successful at this interviewing process that she's now teaching other people how to have their own interview shows. So if you're thinking about having a radio interview show on the internet or on broadcast, whatever it is, and you want to be successful, make sure to check out Raven Blair Glover, because she has become one of the best radio interviewers on the planet, and she can help you get where you are now to where you want to go with your radio career.
Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and I just wanted to say I had a wonderful time with Raven Blair Davis, the talk show maven. She does a wonderful interview
everyone. This is Marlon Maples, and I want to tell you how much fun I had chatting with Raven, the talk show maven. And I've got to say, Raven is pretty amazing at what she does. I love your heart, I love your spirit, and I love the information you're getting out to people. You can tell that Raven really cares, and she's really listening, and she's feeling, and she's sharing some great, great information. Tune in and hear me on Careers from the Kitchen Table.
All right, everyone. So sorry about that. Had to get Jack set up because he's following her. So Jack Canfield is going to share his success principles. You can go to amazingwomenofpower.com, amazingwomenofpower.com to check it out. He's coming up right after this. Doesn't look like we have any questions. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Rosalind, for sharing all the stuff that you have shared. And Jack is coming up next, and we're excited about that. Oh, good. Thank all of you for joining. We really, really appreciate you. And it has just been amazing being able to share this for the Amazing Women of Power listeners, for the Periscope listeners, and for the Blab listeners as well. And to bring such an amazing woman like yourself, I mean, just the way you got started in TEDx, and I love the fact that you made a committed decision, not just a decision, but a committed decision. I love, love, love. Hello, William. Hi. We got the seats open. I think the seat is open, so if someone want to jump in and talk to Rosalind and ask her a question, come on. We still got a couple minutes left. But I still love what you talked about, the narrow and focus thing, because that is so important. And I learned that the hard way, trying to wing things. You got to, know where you're going in your presentation. What's the end result that you want the people to come back in. Eric, somehow you got kicked out. Okay, so Eric, I was just unlocking the seat for you or accepting you, and you got kicked out. So come on back. We'd love to hear what you have to say. But yeah, and the whole thing is you can't wing it, guys. You want to be free and speak from your heart, but you got to know for each speaking organization you go to, what are they looking for, right, Rosalind? What are they looking for? And the best way to know what they're looking for is to look at the speakers and listen to the speakers they've already had. Listen to the top speakers they already have. That's called a clue. And you can just kind of follow them. Be you, but follow their outline, follow their format. Watch what they do. You use your hands a lot. I use my hands a lot. It's very important. Again, remember we talked about they need to feel you. They need to feel your words, feel your passion, feel your emotions. And then Rosin, this audio is full of tips and strategies. So I would encourage you to go back and listen to the replay. We apologize for the sound, but you can still listen and get some great tools in it. I'm going to invite Eric or anyone to come join us in about 2 minutes if you want. I know Eric tried and somehow I kicked him out, so I apologize. Is the seat locked? Or anyone has any questions they want to put it in the type box? And Rosalind, your final comment to all the listeners regarding TEDx and how it can change the world as you a speaker.
Well, the TEDx really opened the doors. Once you get that head and your body, changing this and going back. There's bigger and bigger places. Brene Brown had gone ahead and done her talk, and she became the #1 most watched TED speaker. And it was all about
Brene Brown. Okay.
Simon Sinek had gone there and he'd come on the stage as the #3 person around the world, has promoted him to great heights. And I know that simply having that TED experience, it's going to open your arms and your hearts in so many ways. You never know whose life you can change by the words you have to say. And if I can help you in any way, go ahead and send me a text at 0441, and I'd like to help take you to the sky. TED is in your heart, in your way. My name is Rosalind Kahn. My webpage is rosalindkahn.com, and I'd love to see you there. rosalindkahn.com, and just text 0441. Go ahead and put in a word TEDx in it. Thank you so much. My name is Rosalind Kahn.
Okay, 0441, right?
Yep.
Is that what? Okay, and what else?
Just go ahead and put TED, text 0441.
Okay. TEDx text 0441. Or you
Beautiful.
can type it in the chat box if I got it wrong, Rosalind. Just want to make sure I put the right thing so they can, because we'll have people going back to the replay. So go ahead and feel free to text it in the text box as I close out. Well, I guess since we don't have any more questions, we want to thank those that have participated and send in questions. Thank you very much. And stay tuned for on Amazing Women of Power for Jack Canfield's Success Principles interview. You're going to love that interview. Just like this, a lot of great tips. And we want to thank all the Periscopers, all the Blab.im TV people for tuning in. And thanks for the Amazing Women of Power hosts and listeners for tuning in as well. Okay, thank you so much for typing that in. Who is that? Coach. Okay, at Coach and Speak. Thank you. Thank you for texting that. Yeah, so it's text TED 0441 to learn how she can help you become the TED stage. You guys know how to work this thing. I'm new. I do radio, so this TV thing is whole new, and reading chats and stuff is new to me. Rosalind, we're going to wrap it up. I've got another interview, but thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. We will stay connected, and all of you can come back and listen to the replay. It will be up here, and we're also going to post it. Rosalind, I'll send you the video and the link as well. And thank you for sharing all the stuff. Oh, okay. Let's see. Can you jump in real quick? Who just text? Who is that? At BCalk. Okay, requested to join. Good. William Hill. Hi. Hello.
I hear you talking about TED.
Yeah, TEDx, how are you?
I'm good. I've been a TED follower for a long time. Every single episode I've watched, I've not missed one.
You haven't missed one. Have you used any of the principles Rosalind talked about? I know you haven't been in the chat too long, but have you tried to speak on one?
I haven't, but one of my directors, Shane Stott, he's a motivational speaker, and he talks about the float tank and how that's being used and so on. He'd be a perfect fit to get on TED.
Yeah. So what's holding you back?
Me personally, I'm in China, in mainland China, just south of Shanghai, so it's quite a long way for me to get over to the States. I know you've done one over here, but I don't know if you've got any more planned for China.
Well, let me see. Is TEDx, do they do virtual?
TEDx is actually all over the world. If you go to TED and you go to China, I'm sure there's possibly one that's over there. I'd love to. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, right. I was expressing my surprise that that TED is in China. I thought I was up to date with all of the TEDs, and yes, I've not seen one here.
Well, you'd have to actually go on the TED website and go ahead and see what there are, but they are truly all over the world. If you'd like to contact me on Skype, I'd be more than happy to help you out.
Well, Rosalind, I'm going to check out the website first, because I'm sure you're a busy woman.
Oh, there's always so much to do, but there's always time to help a good friend like yourself.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Rosalind. Thank you.
So follow her. Yeah, you guys follow each other and stay connected. But yeah, I want to encourage you, William, just to do it. I mean, you got a great voice.
Oh, thank you.
So just jump in there and do it, because I do this thing on my radio network called Don't Wait to Be Great. It's one of my biggest shows. Do it now. Okay. Because life is so precious. Anything can happen. And it's not really meant to be a scare tactic. It's just reality. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Oh, definitely.
I mean, a couple months ago, something really weird happened to me. And I was drinking water. No, I wasn't even drinking water. I was laying in bed, and I sat up to grab my water cup, and I almost choked to death on my own saliva. And that's how fast things can happen. Thank God my husband was in the same room where he instantly went into action mode and, pat me on the back and gave me a sip of water. But he has a music studio upstairs. So had he been upstairs, I don't know if I would have been able to make it. It took all the wind out of me. And so that's not a scare tactic. It's the truth. Anything can happen. So my message is kind of like your message is, Rosalind, random acts of kindness. Mine is don't wait to be great. Do it now, because you have every single thing you need to be on TEDx. You have everything inside of you. You take these, go back and listen to the replay later, William, and take these principles and strategies that Rosalind did, and at least give it a shot. At least give it a shot. Did I say it? At least give it a shot. And then if they say no, you missed this coming on, but I said earlier, if they say no, ask them, okay, well, I appreciate that, but can I ask you a question? Are you open to telling me, or are you open to sharing with me why you said no, so that the next time I can get a yes?
There we go. There we go. I like it.
Okay, so yeah, so anyone else want to come on and join us? So William, I want to encourage you. Do you have any question about TEDx and getting started? She shared a lot. I want you to go back and listen to the replay. But Rosalind's, if you have one question, feel free to ask.
Yeah, can you give me like a very quick recap? What's the process that you recommend to get on TED? Because that's a powerful platform to get a message out.
Well, the number one thing is, I would say, I'd go on the TED webpage. Go on the TED webpage. Go ahead and look at what's happening in China. What are the things that you're interested in talking about? And then go ahead and contact the people who are organizing those. Send them an email. There's always the opportunity that if you find an event and just to participate, you can click and find out who the organizer is and send them a message that you'd like to go ahead and be involved. It's only up to you. If you want to do it, you can go ahead and make it happen. But I'd be more than happy to help you navigate that, and just reach out to me.
Great. So there's no big formal process of forms to fill in and pre-interviews.
There's a process that you can fill out an application. There's a process that you can make a recommendation. You can submit an interview. And the people that I've worked with, I know their speaking styles. I know what their caliber of their presentation is. And based on the fact that I know them and I know what they can do, I can make recommendations and referrals that I have with several high-level speakers and gotten them onto the TED stage. And, do you have any of your speeches that you've gone ahead and recorded that I can see a sample of your speaking style?
I haven't, no.
Well, go ahead and put one on, do it on your phone and send it to me.
I think I need to.
I'm happy to look at it and see what we can do. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to put some work into that and make a recording, and I'll connect with you. Thanks for your time.
Well, terrific. Well, thank you for coming a long time to chat. There's actually a person I met on a train in LA who's from China. How's your Chinese? You speak Chinese pretty well?
Yeah, my Chinese is okay. I've been here for 9 years, so it's not too bad.
Terrific. I'll have to put the two of you in contact with one another, and so you can translate for me.
Wonderful. I think my wife would be a better translator.
Hearing from you.
Thank you very much.
I just gave you some feels, William, for stepping up and at least coming on here and jumping on and sharing with us. And I also want to encourage you to follow Rosalind as well as myself, so that you can join me for many other interviews that I'm going to be doing. A lot of great interviews. I'm known for getting the best of the best, and definitely stay plugged into her. And with that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I don't think we have any other questions. Let's see, Lisa, or at Coach and Speak, or at Gil Meek. If any of you want to come in and join us real quick, we're going to wrap it up in a couple minutes, but we'd love for you to say hi to Rosalind and ask her a question on some of her insider secrets to TEDx and how it will change your world as a speaker. And this is a great platform, Blab, as well as Periscope and Americat, and I think it's My Eye. They got so many now. And of course, my radio station, Amazing Women of Power, a podcast. This is a great practice form. I love the singing. Okay, do you sing? Oh, thanks. I love my hats too. Thank you for liking my hat. If you want to come join us, Rosin can take one more question. And just real quick, I'm Raven, a talk show maven, known by many as the queen of internet radio and interview conversion. I teach people how to use the power of their voice, the skills of a talk show host, and their heartfelt message, take it to the world, expand their credibility, visibility, and profitability by interviewing the top experts, the top icons in your niche. Interviewing people like Rosalind to come onto your platform and share their insider secrets, and then taking those interviews and packaging them up into products and services. So make sure you follow me on @talkshowmaven. I'll be on here a whole lot, and follow her. And don't forget to get Rosalind's book, random acts of kindness, because all of us can do our little part to do more. Okay, so I want to thank everybody. I got to get out of here and get ready for another interview. Rosalind, thank you. We'll have to have you back. I can't wait to go back and listen to this, because my son's been telling me, Mom, get on TEDx. Mom, get on TEDx. So I'm going to go back, pull out your tips, and I'm going to do like William. I'm just going to throw it out there and see what happens. And if they say no, I'm going to ask them that magic question. I appreciate you being honest with me. Are you open to sharing with me why you said no, so that the next time I can get a yes? So don't let no's just, shut down your dream. To find out why. Find out why, because you want that constructive criticism. That's how we all get better. You're welcome. And thanks for listening to the replay. Go to amazingwomenofpower.com. I'm going to put that link in right now, because Jack Canfield is coming on. amazingwomenofpower.com, and listen to Jack Canfield. He's coming up. He's going to share his success principles. I want to give all of you kisses and hugs. Periscope, I shut them down, but for those that are listening to the replay, kisses and hugs, and Amazing Women of Power as well. I'll be back later on today talking about and sharing with you my dream formula, so you won't have to wait to be great. You can do it now. So William, meet me back here, because we're going to talk about Don't Wait to Be Great later this afternoon. Hope you enjoy the replay and have a fantastic day. And thank you again for joining us. And don't forget to share us with a friend. Bye now.